This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and end of the year videos. We're gonna get it started by just talking about my gaming year of 2017. Just an overview. I'm gonna try to do a couple of individual videos talking about different things, such as what were my favorite games this year, what games I'm looking forward to in 2018, and beyond. I have to say and beyond because you get a lot of games that don't necessarily have release dates these days, that you're looking for, but you're not sure whether or not they're coming out, which is fine. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I always feel like they should announce games kind of close to when they're about to come out instead of just putting it out there and having this like 2-year hype build. But it's the way things are now. Anyway, but you'll be seeing a bunch of year-ending videos as the week progresses. By the way, if you guys are watching this around, before, on, or even slightly after Christmas Day, Merry Christmas to you guys. Happy holidays to all of you. Definitely happy holidays to anybody who celebrate any of the holidays at this time. That includes Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Just giving you guys well wishes, basically. Hoping that you have a good month, good week, good holiday, whatever. Good end of the year. We're closing in on the end of 2018, so hopefully everything's been great for you. Hopefully everything's been great for your family. You've had little trouble in this whole year. Just hope you guys are doing well. And thank you again, if I haven't said this enough, thank you again to everybody who's watched my videos and commented and liked them and watched my streams, who donated to Extra Life, all that stuff. I appreciate you all. I really, really do. 2017, of course, from a personal standpoint, hasn't been that great. And some of that is reflected on the way that 2017 has been from a gaming standpoint, because I haven't been able to play as many games as I would like to have played. I mean, there's a couple of major games that I haven't played yet, such as Persona 5 and South Park, The Fractured But Whole. I haven't played Wolfenstein, so I would love to get those knocked off on my list. But I played some pretty cool games, some older, like Final Fantasy 15. I started that up this year, even though it came out in November of 2016, and I've been really, really enjoying that. Definitely have been enjoying some of the newer games though, like Horizon, Injustice 2, Assassin's Creed, surprisingly, has been enjoyed by many people. I mean, they're always kind of enjoyed by me because I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. I love the jank. I love the stupidity of the background story. It's one of those guilty pleasures of mine. But this one, surprisingly, even though the story isn't as strong, it's a really good game. It scratches an itch that I've always had as a gamer, which is, the RPG elements and the action adventure. It's good. It's a really good game. It's a solid game. And I thought what's his name was solid though. I think a lot of people slept on the last Assassin's Creed game that came out. But it is what it is. Destiny 2. I know there's a lot of controversy, quote unquote, and anger over that game and some of the things they did. I honestly think people just like to bitch and complain when it comes to that. But at the same time, hey, it is what it is. Y'all can feel how you want to feel. Me personally, I thought it was a pretty solid game. But yeah, overall, I thought that 2017 for gaming as a whole was very, very solid. One of the better years that I've seen in recent history. And it's funny because I remember the bitching and whining people used to make. Well, all these consoles don't have no games. They're not doing enough. One, they've always had games. Just haven't had games that cater to your sensibilities. Be honest. Be open.
be real with your commentary. Stop saying that whole "there's no games" and stuff like that. I mean, again, a lot of people like to bang on the Xbox One because they don't have a lot of exclusives, but a lot of good third party games, of course, came out on that system as well. So you own an Xbox, um, you had a chance to get some quality games, and even when you look at what few exclusives that they had, Cuphead fucking knocked it out the park for a lot of people, things like that. So there's quality games all around. Whether you're looking for exclusives or you're looking for third party games or indie games, and that's the thing I always say too. Like, this indie market is just phenomenal. Um, they're doing great things, and I question people who like to bitch and moan about indie games, especially PC people, because the majority of the games that I've seen people gravitate to on the PC platform have been independent, smaller studios. It's not like they're big top market, like Player Unknowns, Battlegrounds. It's not a big market studio. That's not backed by an EA or a Ubisoft. It's not a AAA title. It's an independent title that blew the fuck up. So I don't know why people like to rail on indie games. You know, it boggles the mind, but that's the state we're in gaming. And I hate it. I hate the like constant bitching and moaning. And I hate the fact that a lot of content creators are fostering this attitude amongst gamers. I think that, while everybody's open and entitled to their opinion, I do think that you should make sure that you let people know this is how you feel, and don't necessarily go off half cocked and treat it as if like what you say is the gospel, and what you say is the way that all gamers feel. Not all gamers feel that way, but I feel like there's this huge momentum thing. I was told once, because the majority thinks it's so, then of course you have to go along with it, which is fucking dumb. The hive mind mentality needs to quit. It's okay if you agree with someone, but don't dismiss something just because you know a lot of people think the same way. Not everybody feels the same way, and everybody's entitled to like what they're like. It's a very toxic situation, but that's the way the world is these days, in my opinion. That's just my social commentary on 2017. But in gaming, it's very much something that's disturbing. I wish it would change. I wish that trend would go back to where people who like what they liked it. People who didn't like certain things moved the fuck on and just liked what they liked and didn't feel the need to harass or complain about people supporting things that they don't feel should be supported. And we had a lot of crazy stuff going on, the whole loot box thing, the EA thing. Again, I'm of the mind we have the power as gamers. We don't have to indulge in this stuff, so therefore this stuff shouldn't bother us as much, because if there weren't people out there who would indulge and pay for this type of content, this shit wouldn't exist. And we've all been guilty of buying extra stuff off of games that we really, really enjoyed. Be it just cosmetic stuff, be it things that help give us an advantage. We indulge in the extra content, the loot boxes. It's like, yeah, the EA loot boxes shouldn't have been the way they were in Star Wars Battlefront 2, because they could affect competition. I'm of the mind that as long as it doesn't make you competitively better, I don't really care. But at the same time, I'm not gonna buy that stuff. So if people do buy that stuff, fine. If I'm good enough in a game, I can still beat you with your bullshit weapon at some point. I can figure it out. I can adapt. I can adjust. And I should have muted my phone before I started this commentary, but you guys have been around long enough to know I have a habit of forgetting about that, so apologies. But anyway, I just feel like it shouldn't be that big of an issue. If you don't indulge in it, and if enough people stop paying for that stuff, then yeah, that shit will go away, because it wouldn't be a trend that they feel the need to use in gaming. at the same time, hey, people like to do that. They like to spend the extra money. And gaming companies are going to always push the envelope in that area because there are enough people out there who make this a profitable venture. And at the end of the day, what is the point of being a gaming developer? It's not just making something that is just your vision, something that you wanted to do all the time, and you wanted to put out your art for the world. That shit costs to make, and you do have to make your money back, and try to make enough profit to pay people, and to have money in the bank. It sounds shitty, but it's the reality. And I don't even think it sounds shitty, but I know a lot of people it sounds like a shitty excuse, but it's really not. It's the way that things are. I guess being older, that's just how I look at it. I just know that if, as a consumer, I find something distasteful, I don't indulge in it, and that I don't need to necessarily scream at the top of my lungs about it and start petitions and all that. Just don't fucking indulge in it, and they'll stop doing stuff a lot of times. Because if it doesn't make the money, if it costs the money, then yeah, they're not gonna fuck with it. So use your power as a consumer to make choices. Don't necessarily feel like you have to scream at the top of your lungs to get people to change something to make it better. Because 9 times out of 10, once you find something distasteful, even if they quote unquote fix it, you're not gonna buy it anyway. So, again, everybody's entitled to an opinion. Feel free to say your piece, but I think sometimes the gaming community goes a little too far in speaking their piece. They continually harp on things. It's like, I'm over the EA thing. Once I saw it and I thought it was shitty, I was good. And that's it. Move on. It didn't stop me from playing Battlefront 2. I actually rented it just because I wanted to play the campaign. I was curious. It was a decent campaign. It wasn't horrible. It did what it needed to do. Shooting mechanics go solid. Dice is always good for shooting mechanics. It has some really interesting levels and things like that. But it was okay. And I got to play it. Multiplayer is okay. It's more of the same from the last one. A little bit of tweaking here and there, but it's a solid game. But I do understand why it has such a negative connotation to people because, that shit's not. It wasn't cool what EA was doing with the loot boxes. And again, power of the consumer. You don't buy it, you don't play it. They get the message and they move on. That's all you had to do, in my opinion. But we have a lot of people who now are big in the gaming community, on Twitch, on YouTube, and their voices carry some weight. I'm curious to see if this is going to be a continuing trend because people are fickle anyway, and opinions change. And I would like to see what happens when somebody endorses something that other people think is shady and how they react. I guess it does happen all the time, but it's just a funny community that we have in gaming. I guess that's why I've kind of drew myself away from it deeply, or as time passed, mostly because personal stuff got in the way, but partially because I get sick of the conversations that people have at the same time. So, but that's just my mood towards gaming right now. That's why I guess I went back at the end of this year to playing RPGs and action adventures like I did. I mean, Uncharted, Lost Legacy, loved it. Playing the hell out of Final Fantasy 15, but playing the hell out of Assassin's Creed. Thinking about picking up Persona 5 because I just got a gift card, $50 credit for PlayStation Network. It was on sale for $30, but now it's up to $40. I'll have to see if they drop it again. If it goes down to $30, I will pick it up because I want to buy 2 games with that, and I don't want to pay more than $10 for the second game because South Park is on sale for $30 too. So I guess I could pick that up. I might just pick both of those up, bite the bullet, pay the $20 to get 2. Not that I wouldn't want to pay full price for them because they seem like great games. I'm not picky, but I feel like because I have this card, I need to be more selective of how I use it and maximize the amount of stuff that I can get out of this card. I'm like that when I get gift cards. I try to figure out how I can maximize the value of the gift card. Other than that, I'm fine with paying $60 for games. To be quite honest, if it seems like it's a good enough quality to me, fuck it. I'm not one of those. Is it worth the $60 type of people? If I think I'm interested, it's worth $60. Period. And then if I like it, it definitely is worth the $60. If not, it's not worth the 60. And fuck it. I bought something I didn't like. Happens all the time in life. A lot of people forget that you don't always enjoy everything you indulge in. But people are extremely picky, I guess. I don't know. I feel like people don't want to deal like they used to, or just like look at things in a rational light and just be like, yo, fuck it. I take that L. I move on and find something that I can get a W with. Simple. That's just me. I'm sorry I keep slipping into the social commentary thing, but it is something that is a part of, like I said, the gaming year in my perspective. It's just one of those things that is just a pet peeve of mine. Because again, I feel like the attention to fun has gone out of the gaming community, and the attention to other things such as, does this have paid content that I don't particularly care for? Does this have enough hours of gameplay, quote unquote, in order to be worth $60 and things like that? It's not about, did I enjoy myself playing this or did I not? Which is basically the simple and easy way to look at things. It's entertainment. If you're entertained, it should be worth it to you. But again, different generation, different mindset. Me being older, I may be looking at things a little ancient wise, however you want to call it. But that's just that's my perspective on it. But I still think this has been a great year overall for gaming. We've had a lot of great games, a lot of great content put out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this year from gaming's perspective. I actually hope you enjoyed this year for life's perspective, period. But I think gaming has been totally solid. One of the better years that I can think of, because it's been stacked with so many games. Looking back at stuff like the Gaming Awards, when you see stuff like Zelda beat out a game like Horizon, which isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, it shows you the strength of gaming, because you had Horizon, Zelda, Mario, you had Nier Automata, you had fucking Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. I'm not listening to the Game of the Year just alone. I'm listing all the great games that have been out. Assassin's Creed Origin. What else? Oh, geez, Persona 5. Resident Evil 7 started off the year with a bang. It's just been like continually just great. Fortnite coming out of nowhere and competing with PlayerUnknown's Battleground and being such a great free piece of content that people have enjoyed and I enjoy. It's just like I've had lots of fun this year with gaming. Got my Destiny 2. That was great. It's been a great year, in my opinion, for gaming. It's been a very, very solid year. Of course, mired with some controversy, some overwhining and whatnot. But if you look at it from the standpoint of content alone, gaming's been great. Can't wait for 2018. It should be just as great. Hopefully better, which would be super fantastic to see a better year than this year. Because, like I said, this is one of the best years in recent history. These consoles are hitting stride. PC gaming is bigger than ever. You got a lot of stuff to be happy about as a gamer, in my opinion. But anyway, that's the long video. There'll be a couple of short videos where I talk about different things to you guys. So look out for those as well. If this is the last video of mine that you see, again, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah if you celebrated that. Happy Kwanzaa if you're going to celebrate that. Happy holidays in general. Happy New Year's. Have a good one. Hope that your 2017 has been great, and hope that 2018 brings you more greatness. take it easy. And to close it off, as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.